Yeah, I have a presentation of my own.
On what, sir?
On this subject.
Okay, so let's,
Since discussion.
so let's keep it within the parameters of this item, please, sir.
We will.
Mr. Weaver, how much time do you need?
I don't know.
You've created a presentation, but I mean, are we talking 5 minutes or a half an hour?
Somewhere in that range, yeah.
Okay, let's try to keep it on the south side of that range, if you wouldn't mind, sir.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I want to first start by thanking staff, the commission, the library task force, and library staff and design team for all their hard work getting to this point. And just so you know, in case anybody told you different, I voted for the library bond. So I'm new to this job, and I have to rely on city staff and the city attorney and others to advise me on some things like procedures and when to raise my hand and so forth. But my background, I'm a structural engineer, I'm a general contractor. I've served as an owner's rep on multiple buildings. I've designed and built 2 clean room factories, a hotel, theme park stuff.
So, Mr. Weaver, as a commissioner, I think that's what you're here representing today, yes?
I'll make it brief, Mr. Mayor.
All right, I'd like to just stay focused on this, sir, if you will.
I will. So over the last 15 years, I did 3 projects for Panasonic Avionics, expanding their manufacturing facilities to 40,000 square feet. So one of the things I've learned is the financial success of any project is really critical at the estimating stage. And in November of 2017, as a structural engineer and an insomniac, I look at things and figure out how I can build that. So I immediately became concerned when I saw this concept because I know what things cost per square foot. So the bond measure, basically, we voted for buildings that totaled about 58,000 square feet. And I did a little math, knowing what exotic buildings cost, like we did at Universal Studios and other places. And I was thinking, now how on earth are we going to build these for $30 million? And so I researched a bunch of AGE projects. They have done some beautiful work around the world, and I'm going to show you a few of them. Russ, next slide, please. So this is a beautiful building in Moscow, and you can see that it was finished at $782 a square foot. Next. This is a building in London at $694. Next.
Mr. Weaver, again, I'm asking
Mr.
you,
Mayor?
Sir,
Excuse me.
Sir, no, excuse me.
The Denver Museum of Contemporary Art, $1,166 a square foot.
We will ask you to sit if you don't.
Mr. Mayor, I'm a duly elected Winter Park City Commissioner.
That's right, sir, and I am
we're
the chair
having a
of
discussion.
this. And I am the chair, and I am asking you again to please stay focused on the issue at hand, not past projects.
We are talking about costs and moving this project forward, and that's exactly what I'm doing,
And
Mr.
sir,
Mayor.
you need to focus on this
I
project.
will not interrupt you when
projects.
it's your turn.
It is always my turn, sir, as the chair, to remind folks
Can
when
we
they're
move
straying
on,
off
please?
topic. If you stay on topic, we will. If
I
not,
am on topic.
we will move on.
Russ, next, please. So this building right here, you can see the shape of it is similar to the Canopy project. However, the canted walls are not structural on the Canopy project. Or excuse me, they are structural. These are secondary. So you have a vertical wall building with a flat roof and these little skins on the outside. They're made out of aluminum, but still the cost is $714 a square foot. So of all the budget items that I got, the best thing I could use for this discussion was the porte cochere, and that number hasn't changed throughout the last 14 months at $1.5 million. So the square footage has changed. Originally I was told it was 3,500 square feet. Next slide, please. So this is from the engineering drawings. I interviewed several of the design team and engineers last week, and the porte cochere now at the base level is 2,070 square feet. So if you do the math, that's $741 a square foot for basically a carport. Next slide, please. So this building has no perimeter footings, no walls, no windows, no plumbing, no roof loads, no parapet, no HVAC, no restrooms, minimal lighting, no interior walls. It has an oculus on the top and minimal interior finishes. So if you use that same number per square foot, which is how I bid buildings, next slide, please. The total of the library and event center as designed, 50,495 square feet. And this is, again, directly from the DD drawings. Next slide, please. So if you multiply that just for the shells, that comes out to 37 million and change. Next slide, please. So now you have that, and you add substantial wall heights, insulated windows, perimeter footings, interior structural steel, interior walls, spiral staircases, conventional staircases, elevators, insulation, interior finishes, lighting, HVAC, flooring, restrooms, parapets, raked auditorium, rooftop venue, interior doors, stormwater management, exterior entries and doors, electrical wiring and outlets, and so on. And again, I don't see how you can build this for what we're saying is $40 million. Next slide, please. So there's some design issues, and I talked to the design team about this week. A couple of them are, I consider, safety concerns. The raked auditorium, for instance, has an 18-inch drop, I believe. Is that correct? Between steps, and no handrails. So we have a lot of elderly and children, and personally I would not take that liability as a design. So the other thing is the second floor children's area. We have very low bookcases like this with a sheer drop of, what is that, 12 to 16 feet? Little boys climb things. I'm very concerned about that. I'm also concerned about the event center, the rooftop venue, and the outdoor amphitheater being on the south side of this building. This is Florida, folks. It's hot. And how many months a year are we really going to be able to use this? So my job, the most important job I have as your commissioner is fiduciary responsibility. And I'm asking the commission to delay this vote for two reasons. The full commission is not here tonight, and we need to see a reconciled budget that's readable. The staff employee that gave me this week said it's fluid. Well, I believe the specification has been very fluid, and is this design a good value for our money? That's what I want to ask you. We were promised a 50,000 square foot library, an 8,500 square foot event center, and a parking structure. And as a structural engineer, I know a lot of structural engineers. I've never been asked to design a parking lot. A parking lot is not a structure, I'm sorry. So this is possibly the largest capital improvement budget item we've ever done as a city. And I personally don't feel that this is the right way to go. So I'm asking for a delay till the commission can
Commissioner,
be
are you
here
making a
and we
motion?
get a full budget.
Are you making
Thank
a
you.
motion?
No, sir.
Okay. Well, you can
Thank
make
you,
a motion
Doug.
to table if you'd like to make a motion to table. No motion to table?
There's already a motion out.
There is, and you can motion to table proceed. So if you'd like to make a motion to table, you certainly can. Okay, seeing none, we'll move on.